In the crazy world of F1, the loudest screams don't come from drivers or engines moving at 200 kilometers an hour, but from excited superfans lucky enough to meet their favorite racers. Whether it's a world champion going undercover with a suspicious mustache or a driver quietly photobombing a stranger's holiday picture. These are 12 moments when F1's champions surprise their biggest fans. Number 1 is what no one saw coming. Number 12, the F1 simulator. We start off with one fan getting led by a friendly person to compete in a racing video game against a strange guy with a helmet on. The young lady is promised by the person that she'd make lots of money if she manages to win a single lap against the unknown person on the racing simulator. The setup wasn't a simple console and monitor, but with most of the driving equipment used at a professional level. Confident in her skills against this unknown person seated close with a helmet on, the young fan sat down with her hands on the wheel. Then the game kicked off, and she was surprised by how many times she kept losing. At the end of the session, right when she was about to give up, she was greeted with the biggest surprise of her life. Then the skilled competitor removed his helmet and revealed his face. She screamed as she recognized who it was. None other than Lando Norris, who, to his credit, probably enjoyed every second of the game. Yet we're just getting started. Number 11, the run no one expected. During a Grand Prix weekend, while coming out in the open to the loud cheer of many fans, it was expected for Lewis Hamilton to simply wave at the several crowds around while led by security to his destination. But to everyone's surprise, Lewis ran out of line, ignoring all protocols and cutting through those around him. He ran directly to the young woman cheering for him and gave a long, heartfelt hug. This came so out of the blue that the fan couldn't help screaming before and after it happened. Then he gave a final wave before running back to the team he came with. For Lewis, it was likely another day of giving back to the fans who loved him. But what happens when the well-meaning driver wanting to surprise gets greeted with chaos instead? Number 10, the yes experiment. Things get very interesting when a Formula One driver is tasked with going undercover as a salesperson with a thick mustache. And it doesn't stop there. Like that wasn't enough. Ricciardo was under strict instructions to say yes to anything the next customer asks of him. And like that wasn't interesting enough, one smart young lady walks over to the table to ask for help with something and easily recognizes he's the popular driver known as Daniel Ricciardo. Knowing this lady kicks things up a notch by flirting with him, and in an awkward situation where he's forced to say yes to every one of her requests. Let's just say things got more interesting than expected, if you know what we mean. Daniel's face throughout that encounter was the perfect example of controlled suffering, the kind that lands hardest when your biggest fans know you enough to outsmart you. Now, with Daniel's face in mind, what do you think happens when the surprise hits you right after the event? Number 9, Red Bull photobombs. On multiple occasions, there are special events where fans are allowed to line up for what they believe are standard promotional photos. In most cases, these fans take their pictures, check the image, and leave immediately so the next can enter. But of course, things are not always straightforward, with a brand known for daring record breakers to do the dangerous and impossible. And things get a lot more complicated when fans check their photographs only to see their favorite Red Bull driver posing right behind them. The shock comes right after the moment is already over, and if they're lucky, the shock doubles when they turn around to see the driver still standing there, ready to take another picture, sign an autograph, or give a warm hug. While many see this as a privilege, a few fans see it as exciting but a bit disorienting. But even that is not disorienting as getting interrupted by the celebrity you're hyping live on air. Just ask the next person on our list. Number 8, a sudden yet welcome interruption. During a McLaren media tour, a young fan was brought on radio to talk about her favorite things, particularly in the world of Formula One. She was talking about her favorite racers and the many things she admired about them with strong confidence. Then, with little warning or introduction, not even a knock on the door, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri came into the room. Seeing the two people she couldn't stop talking about walking in, the ever-confident fan went from relaxed to nervous. Though she knew most of these appearances were fairly common and to be expected during promotional tours in cities like London, none was enough to help her stay composed for the first 30 seconds. To keep things calm, they asked where she usually sits for the games and promised they would wave in her direction whenever they got the chance. Then she was more happy than nervous and excited to spend the rest of the episode with them. But our next moment takes things up a notch. Number 7, the school run. We all know about boring Tuesdays. The weekends are still far away and the day feels longer than usual. It was one of those days for young boys dressed for school. Already anticipating a long day, he stepped out the door and walked down to the yard's entrance, only to meet the biggest surprise of his life. As usual, there was a car waiting for him at the gate, but this time it was a McLaren supercar, and on the driver's seat was a man with an oddly familiar face. It was none other than Lando Norris. To the driver's surprise, the boy kept it cool, hopping into the car and laughing as they drove all the way to his school. As always, people on the streets gave casual greetings along the way, with only a few instantly recognizing who he was despite the face mask. And just like that, the morning went from a boring Tuesday to a morning he would not forget anytime soon. But if you thought this was a huge surprise, ask the next person who got a free tour of the Ferrari garage. Number 6. The quietest surprise. On one European Grand Prix weekend, a long-anticipated race was expected to be held, but was suddenly cut short to everyone's disappointment. Kimi was supposed to complete the race, but couldn't do so due to the regulations. One of his biggest fans in the crowds was most upset, so upset that the clip of the young person's face became the meme of the event. But fast forward a week later, and something very interesting happened. By the next weekend, this person was specially invited to the Scuderia Ferrari garage. This gave much more access than the best school trips could afford. This lucky fan was allowed into rooms reserved for only signed engineers and drivers and got to experience Formula One from behind the scenes. But the next entry on our list shows that sometimes it's not about the gesture, but an extra step that goes a long way in changing a person's life, along with his family. Number 5. The family moment. During a sponsored demonstration event, a young boy got a ride with Alex Albon, one that he would never forget. And even though this was a charity event with very strict speed limits, the thrill was enough to make anyone scream. The child was no exception to this rule, but the real event happened after the car stopped. Not only did he open the door for the young boy to come out, he also walked out to greet the child's entire family waiting nearby. He signed autographs for everyone who asked, forming a memory that would hardly be forgotten. Perhaps it's become the same old story told over and over again at Christmas dinner, or every new season for every new friend who didn't ask, always slightly more dramatized with each retelling. A thrilling moment that would always be remembered, no question. But what happens when you're a kid and a driver you admire spots you in the crowd, walks over and calls you out before you even think about approaching them? Number 4. Spotted and excited. This is the one case that kept F1 fans smiling for a long time. In this case, a young girl stands in the crowd at the building's entrance with her parents, but is visibly overwhelmed when she sees her favorite driver walking down the narrow path leading to her. And rather than waiting for an organized interaction, Max Verstappen spots her and walks straight over. The few seconds that passed would be etched into the minds of everyone who saw it. As Verstappen walked closer, the little girl giggled and tapped her feet with a joy hardly seen before. He returned the excitement by signing an autograph with an equally vibrant smile. It was a moment that stood out at a time when celebrities meeting fans had become a frequent trend that was starting to feel old, reigniting a spark long gone among long-term fans of the sport. Our next big moment, however, takes a very different turn. It was a playful confrontation with subtle jabs and laughs, one that still gets replayed among fans even today. Number 3. The P3 moment. Not long before the F122 British Grand Prix, one fan gets lucky enough to meet Carlos Sainz. Keep in mind that the event at hand was one of the most important in his career. It was the one that would mark both his first pole position and Formula One victory. Yet with this in mind, this fan comes to the window and expresses hope that Carlos would finish third, despite all the odds. With a smile on his face, Carlos asked why it had to be third instead of first place. Some saw it as a playful jab from a fan hoping to go viral. Little did he know what happened next will make this moment historic. Carlos Sainz would go on to take both his first pole position and Formula One victory ahead of Sergio Perez and Lewis Hamilton. He also made history by becoming the first Spanish driver to win a race since 2013's Fernando Alonso. Many believe Carlos found motivation from wanting to prove the superfan wrong. Either way, meeting him wasn't half as thrilling as what we are about to show you. Chapter 2. Racing with a Fan. We all know Monza, recognized by some fans and racing professionals as the Great Temple of Speed. It is a circuit so committed to going fast in a straight line, made for the best that racing has to offer. In this kind of road built for only the most gifted of professionals to dare, one young woman got a passenger ride with a leading racer. The speed limit was almost 150 kilometers an hour, Suffice to say that even at this relatively safe speed, the ride was far from just fun. As any seasoned professional in the game would tell you, many things happen every few seconds in a run like this. Acceleration pins you back, hitting the brakes almost rearranges your organs, and the scary turns through corners can mess with the brain in frightening ways. For these reasons, it was a short demonstration. And of course, by reasons, we also mean the never-ending screams from the excited but horribly frightened fan on the passenger seat. She agrees she was lucky to meet Lewis Hamilton. But many questioned which was more thrilling, going 250 kilometers an hour on Monza or spending a short time with Lewis. Either way, nothing on this list comes remotely close to what we've saved for number one. So let's dive into it. Number 1, Lewis Hamilton's visit. Two young girls were doing their own race commentary on an imaginary Grand Prix. Though cameras were there, they were mostly doing it out of fun with no awareness of the person standing right behind them. Lewis Hamilton stood there without interrupting until the girls noticed something was off and turned around. All composure melted away as they saw the man himself returning the smile at them. This moment went viral as one only a few saw coming, and it stays reserved at the top of our list. So tell us, which of these moments made you smile the most? Which of them inspired you? Let us know in the comments down below. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Also click on the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.